champions of the world. Los Angeles Dodgers bringing home the trophy in this crazy world, this crazy year that is 2020. I was only 14 years old the last time the Dodgers won a championship, so I'm happy as a lark. I screamed out of my balcony, and my neighbors joined me as we screamed, "Viva la Dodgers!" Been a long time. We should have had 3 or 4 by now, thanks to the Asterisks and the Boston Red Sox smashing us, but we got one. Let me go ahead and share this with a couple of pages. Y'all get on in here. This AC Sports Live. Let's get it started, like we always do.
Hostile. I got a right to be hostile, man. My people been persecuted.
Dodgers. Julio Urias pitches like a mad. Streaming a little bit different tonight. I don't have live comments, but I can see your comments on Facebook and I'll answer them verbally. I'll be streaming live tonight on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. Trying to broaden my horizon just a little bit. Let's see if I can't fix this. This little light of mine is a little bit bright. Let's see if I can't share this to a page. More options. I can probably do it better from my laptop. Are y'all happy? Are you happy now? I'm happy now. I needed that dub. That dub came through. Lakers last month. This month, Dodgers. Shout out to them Rays. They played well. Why they kept pitching to Randy Arozarena? Arozarena? They kept pitching to the man. That man's a beast. Randy Arozarena? They should have been pitching that dude like Barry Bonds. They kept pitching him straight meat. And he did not disappoint. You pitched the man meat. They should have been pitching that dude like Barry Bonds. They kept pitching him straight meat. All right. The Los Angeles Dodgers are the champions of the world. Let me share a few more. All right. The Los Angeles Dodgers are the champions of the world. Full show now. Let's see if I can get all the homies a notification. This right here is something new that I'm doing with the multiple streams. Let's see if I can get just to see how it does. Let me Let me try something real quick. Y'all hold tight as we enjoy this Dodger Vic. Just to see if it will let me copy all my homies. Copy and paste. I hope I'm doing this right. Or am I deleting everybody's name? Yeah. All right, we'll get to it. So the Dodgers win 3-1, Game 6 of the 2020 World Series. I ain't been this happy for a Dodger win in a long time. 6 of the 2020 World Series. Now this one is open, and okay, here we go. So we got Kershaw gets a ring after all he's been through, Hall of Fame career. One of the best regular season pitchers of all time, has exercised his demons by winning 2 games in the World Series. So I think Kershaw has solidified his place in World Series lore. Dave Roberts has gotten the monkey off his back by managing an excellent Game 6, a bullpen game, as you might call it, where each pitcher was going to go 1 or 2 innings. And he finishes it off with his new young bull. I'll call him the young ace, Julio Urias. Julio Urias pitched, I believe, 7 batters and struck out the last 2 like a G. Corey Seager is the World Series MVP, and rightfully so. He balled out. He had numerous timely hits, hit the ball hard the entire series. Much love to Corey Seager. The key, Justin Turner also played very well. He was diagnosed with COVID-19 during the game, left the game early. So we are hoping that everything is okay, that he'll recover. Everybody that was in contact with him will be fine. Everybody's going to quarantine with their families and do the necessary precautions to make sure everybody's good. And the timing of the whole thing is real sketchy in my opinion, but they got through it. Like, why did they did not say anything before the game? Because the game was bigger to some people's opinions. My key to the championship comes down to the new guy, Mookie Betts. His energy, his luster for the game, his enthusiasm really helped the Dodgers get past those moments where it was looking really dismal. So Mookie Betts, to me, is somebody that needs recognition in this championship because he was pivotal in this whole thing. Yeah, these Dodger fans went absolutely bat crazy. At the last pitch of Urias threw, I opened my balcony window, balcony door, and people were already firing off fireworks and shooting off M80s and all kinds of loud fireworks. So it's probably not going to be very safe out there tonight. Everybody, please be safe in the Los Angeles streets. At some point, they will have some type of parade. Okay, I think I see what the problem is. This is not supposed to be protected. It's not supposed to be locked. Why is this locked? Public. There you go. It was not. it was private. That's crazy. So I'll try this and we'll see who pops in here. The Dodgers have done it first time in 32 years. I think my kids are mimicking my clap for whenever the Dodgers made a good play. I was clapping and hollering. Nobody in my house likes baseball like I do. So I get it. I was dodged up. I did not have my cap on during the game, which was good luck, but I had my jersey on. And it worked out. Because we got the dub. Everybody contributed. It was a team victory. I feel kind of bad for Kenley Jansen, but then again, I don't. He didn't need to be in there. It was Julio's night to save this. Gratterall, Gonzalez, Flora. Who else came off the bench? All the bullpen. Holding the Tampa Bay Rays to one run is a task in itself. So I really commend Dave Roberts for making an adjustment. He did not go with the analytics saying we have to put in Kenley Jansen. He stuck with the young bull Urias, as he was mowing him down like nobody's business, and let him finish the game. Go with your gut. So I believe the commentators say during this season you go analytics because it's a long season. This season wasn't very long, 60 games opposed to 163 games. And in the World Series, you lean on analytics for a starting point. But at some point, you have to go with your gut. Arias pitched, Saturday? So technically, he shouldn't have pitched today. But he went with the person who had the most success versus the Rays, and that was Julio Urias. And he went with his gut, and his gut paid off. Dodgers are the champs. I'm all happy and giddy. Travis Baker, what's up? I don't know what to do, man. I'm going to get a new hat. I'm going to get the one with the patch on the side this time. Because last time I was going to get that hat, the World Series hat, I didn't think we were going to win it. The Boston Red Sox were loaded like we were loaded this year. So now I can go get my Dodgers World Series cap. And my Mookie Betts jersey. I'm not sure if I'm going to get white or gray. I like the grays. You can wear gray and not kill them too hard. 59 runs scored with 2 outs. Incredible series. Incredible postseason for the Los Angeles Dodgers, coming back from 2-0 and 3-1. And then handling a very stressful letdown in Game 4. And I'm going to talk about that play in the 9th inning as I go through a segment I call What Did I Just See? And that inning is still something I've never seen before in my life. Everything that happened was so quick. Everything that happened was so sudden. But that's why we watch. For the suspense, for the spectacle, for the anticipation, for the unknown. We watch it. That's why we watch it. We can sigh of relief and understand that bringing in Mookie Betts was all we needed to do. Kershaw gets a chip. The monkey's off his back, 2 wins in the World Series. Corey Seager, the MVP. Kike. Chris Taylor. Bellinger. Jock. Mookie. Los Angeles Dodgers join the Los Angeles Lakers as champions of this COVID-19 riddled 2020. Just basking in the ambience of victory. Strike up the David Lee Roth I Love LA. Seeing Q, Anthony Carter, AC, in the crib. I think you hit me up asking why I never know why. The Rays took out their ace too soon. He was dealing. I don't understand how a manager. There are no more games to play if you lose. The Rays season is over, and you pull the pitcher that was mowing down Dodgers like nobody's business. So shame on you, Kevin Cash. You should have let your starting pitcher go at least 2 more innings. You had the Dodgers up against the ropes. I think the methodology is don't let them go around the batting order 3 times. That's when batters catch up to a pitcher. But remember, there was a time where pitchers pitched complete games, and you saw everybody 3 times. That was the sign of a good pitcher. He was able to get these guys out. Even if it wasn't strikeouts, they were getting guys out. Ground balls, pop flies. They were methodical. They had game plans on how to get certain guys out. Nolan Ryan and guys like Roger Clemens and the big unit and, Madison Bumgarner. Them kind of guys pitched the whole game. I'm not coming out the game. Today's pitcher, they got to make sure they don't open a blister like the Dodgers ace Bueller, who can't go past 6 because there's a blister on his hand. I would complain, but I can't. We got the dub. We held the Rays to 1 run with a bullpen game. I thought we would need 5 runs, but tonight 3 was enough. AC says, I have no sound. Don't know why. Go Dodgers. You have no sound. That's interesting. Let me check my sound on my phone. I thought we would need 5. Yeah, it's not me, man. It's you. There it is. It's like, you're going to make me nervous if I have no sound. You don't have no sound. Nobody has sound. Got to have sound. This is a podcast with video. If you look at the definition of podcast, I think it's just audio broadcast. All right, Dodgers chance. We'll come back to the Dodgers later on, talking about that 9th inning of Game 4. That's some things I've never seen before in my life. Football, NFL, power rankings. Pittsburgh Steelers at the very top. No doubt about it, best team in NFL right now. Undefeated. At this point, week 8, you undefeated. You earn the right to be called the best in the game. Power rankings. Kansas City number 2. Seahawks lost a tough one to the Cardinals. Cardinals serious, man. I think they're going to be good for a while. I think this Kyler Murray kid is going to be legit. Next Doug Flutie, little guy. But he's not, he just looks small because he's not wide, but he's about the same height as Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's just thicker. What a big late. Green Bay Packers still in the mix. Ravens. Tennessee Titans. I think the Buccaneers are a little bit better than 7th. The way Tom Brady's playing. Tom Brady has crept up in the MVP conversation. And they pick up Antonio Brown. How that pans out, we will have to wait and see. All I know is Antonio Brown has more chances. Well, no, that would be Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon has more chances than a 9 Live Cat on the Empire State Building. You had to open it. All right, cool. I am streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Periscope, so I do not have my live on-screen comments, but I'll read them live so we can get y'all some takes and some input on the show. Big Lake, we missed you on Saturday hooping, man. I believe you was gone with the wife on a vacation or an anniversary or whatever it was. If it was an anniversary, man, happy anniversary. You and your lovely queen. Buffalo Bills still there. New Orleans Saints, I'm surprised they're in the top 10. They're not very impressive every week, and Drew Brees seems like he's hitting that 40-year-old wall. The Los Angeles Rams look pretty good, but they've only beaten a lot of NFC East teams, including my Eagles. So it's not saying a whole lot. They beat a pretty good Bears team, but the Bears, again, are the Bears. Nobody is raising a red flag for the Bears offense to score more than 20 points any game. It's always been a defense-first team. But week 8, are you surprised about any teams in the top 10? I'm surprised Let's see. Who am I surprised by? The Tennessee Titans. I believe that I think that they were there. They weren't as high as 6 in my book. I think I would switch out Tampa Bay with Green Bay, and the rest of them can stay where they are. Pittsburgh showed that they are the cream by beating another unbeaten team, Tennessee. And they have weapons on weapons in Pittsburgh. And again, very well coached team. And Big Ben is already etched his stuff. He etched his name in the history books as an all-time great Hall of Famer. So the Steelers are the cream of the crop right now. Your wife's birthday late? All right, cool. It was you'll be there this week. Cool. We hooping at the map. Old heads. Old heads and my son. So we're hopefully in Al Dorsey came out last week. He's gonna bring his son next week. So we have 2 young guys that can just let them run all day, and us old heads can just jog up and down the court. All right, man. We heard this out of the Cowboy camp. D coordinator for the Cowboys. Conference calls. This is indicative of the whole year, the whole 2020 year. Conference call with Cowboys defensive coordinator Mike Nolan was delayed because he got Tabasco sauce on his finger and then in his eye. If that ain't 2020, I don't know what is. That's actually pretty hilarious. Make sure my camera's good. Yeah. There you go. Come on, Cowboys, get yourself together. The defense is terrible. It's division on the team. Mike McCarthy was not the right choice. I'm already hearing Eric Bieniemy's name. We'll see what happens there. They'll be eating Mike McCarthy's contract, along with all his buddies that he brought along with him that the coaching staff nobody trusts. And they also have a problem on the team when Andy Dalton got knocked out the game by a cheap hit by a linebacker. Nobody came to Andy Dalton's defense. Typically, when your quarterback gets hit and it's a dirty hit, linemen, receivers, tight end, they all rush the guy that made the dirty hit. And they get some field justice by, a little roughhouse tactics. And you get some payback, so to speak. Not the Cowboys. You just let it ride, let Andy suffer. And there's no team unity there. I don't condone a bunch of fighting, but if you knock out our quarterback, then you got to pay. Somebody got to pay. I saw this one. Dez Bryant signed with the Baltimore Ravens to the practice squad. I was wondering, how does a 3-time Pro Bowler get signed to the practice squad? What kind of mess is that? But that's where Dez is, and he's happy because he's now on the team, and most likely he'll be playing in a couple of weeks. So the X is back, and he's on one of my other teams. When the Eagles are playing bad, the Ravens are my other team. So I guess I'm going to have to like the big bully slant, bully fade route to Dez Bryant when he gets cleared to play on the active roster. Todd Prunty in the house. Can't see Bieniemy being a yes man to jury. Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I saw his name come up in the rumorville. But at this point, I think Jury is desperate, and who else is he going to get? I believe the coach from Oklahoma has turned him down the last 2 seasons. So we'll see. Todd Prunty says, AC, are you not enjoying this cow poke meltdown? It's right on time. Oh, man. As bad as the NFC least is, the Cowboys are the worst. I'm laughing like Stephen A. Cowboys. Y'all got problems. At least the Eagles play hard. We're a few points away from being 6-2. We're close. We got a bogus tie to the Bengals. We lost to a pretty good Rams team. We lost to a good Ravens team. We pulled out an exciting win versus the G-Men. And Daniel Jones and his inability to finish a run, 80-yard run at 25 miles per hour, 32 miles per hour. Or now I heard it's 43 miles per hour. I heard the legend of Danny Dimes just gets bigger and bigger every week. It's crazy. I also heard this one. Jimmy G is on his way out from San Francisco. This would be interesting to keep an eye on if he's the guy or not. I believe they dressed him up as the next great quarterback in New England, and then San Francisco's finding out might not be true. Jimmy G might be just average. He might just be a backup. So could Jimmy G be headed back to New England? Because Cam is sneaking it up. Cam had probably his worst game of his life. But people are saying it's COVID related. That he had to take time off and maybe he can't breathe well. Can't breathe good. However you want to say it. And your boy Tom Brady, speaking of the Patriots, Tom Brady's proven it was not just the system. He's a good quarterback, y'all. If he's not your GOAT, he has to be top 5. He's a pretty good quarterback, to say in the nicest way I could say it. He's number 2 to me behind Joe Montana. 4-1, 15 touchdowns to 1 interception, almost 1,500 yards passing in the first 7 games of the season. Or I believe in the first, since week 3. This is since week 3. I believe week 1 he threw 2 picks. But he's getting a grasp of the offense. Marquise Goodwin just got injured, but they picked up Antonio Brown, which is probably the steal of the offseason. The steal. Because Antonio Brown is still top 10 coming off the street. And when he gets in football shape, he's top 5. Top Runty, that's crazy. So who's San Francisco starting quarterback for the future then? They got to probably get somebody from the draft. They're going to have to get somebody, one of these young kids and all these BCS championships. They got like 5 of them that they're looking at. Sadly enough, the investment in Garoppolo is going to be all for naught. They gave that man starter money, but he's a clipboard guy. They did let him throw the ball in the Super Bowl. So that let you know right there they weren't trying to win with him. They saw he was limited. And now we're seeing he's very limited. At this point in the year, he should be a lot more well-versed in that offense, and he's not. UFC. Khabib retires undefeated. Goes out like a G. He promised his mother that when his dad passed away, he would retire. He beat Gaethje. A lot of people thought Gaethje was going to beat Khabib, but Khabib beat him in the second round and in 1.5 minutes with a nice submission, leg submission, which actually had left Gaethje unconscious. I have some footage to see if it works. If you didn't get a chance to see the fight, I actually have it. Let's pull this down. See if I can't pull it up. All right. Of course, the first round, he stood up. And Khabib stalked. Got caught a few times. And, of course, they're filling each other out. Championship fight. 2 very well-respected fighters going at it. And who was calling me during my show? Oh, Q, I'm going to have to call you back, bro. I'm doing a show. So this is it. He's tapping right now. Chokes him out. Choked him to sleep. The ref didn't see it. And as a customary UFC fighter retiring, you take your gloves off. And you leave them in the octagon. And you leave the octagon for the last time. Retiring. 29-0. He wanted to fight St. Pierre to make it 30-0, but he's gonna go ahead and ride off into the sunset with this incredible submission. And the ref, I'm not sure how the ref missed the tap, because at this point he's asleep. That's scary. It's scary when you see but he is arguably the best to ever do it. As you can see from the other fighters in the UFC who had some tweets that they sent out. Conor McGregor says at Team Khabib, I will carry on because he wanted a rematch. Respect and condolences on your father again also. To you and family. Yours sincerely, the McGregors. Mutual respect for two great champions, Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov. Daniel Cormier says, congratulations to the greatest champion in UFC history. What a career. We are forever grateful for the time we got to spend with you, my brother. 29-0, undefeated and undisputed. Hashtag we are, I can't even see that. Where K, Eagles, MMA, they were in the same fight team. So, of course, Daniel Cormier is going to give him his props. That's his boy. I don't expect anything less from him. Okamoto says, Khabib Nurmagomedov retires 29-0. I believe him. He won't be back. Promised his mother this was it. He has my vote as greatest fighter of all time. Now, one person who does not agree that Khabib is the GOAT in my eyes himself, John Bones Jones. John Jones says, I'm talking to all you Khabib fans out there. 15 world titles to your guys 4. And you guys are really talking about who's the best fighter ever? You guys are joking, right? I've had 15 title defenses. He's had 4. Are you guys kidding me? Is this a petty post? A little bit. But if you think you're the best, you say something. John Jones thinks he's the best. He moved up to heavyweight. If John Jones goes up to heavyweight, wins the championship, he has a very, very, very good argument as he's the GOAT in UFC, as he's been a champion for such a long time. And then he had the 2 questionable drug test fails that they never actually proved were actually failed drug tests. They were questionable. So I got John Jones. I've seen him do it a lot longer with more, I guess you would say, formidable foes. Coach Cole says, what will the NFC East winner record be? I think we can win the whole thing with 6. The Eagles can win the NFC East with 6 wins. So what is that? Is that 6-9-1? Gonna be the NFC East champion and go in the playoffs and win the first round game with a losing record. They're gonna be mad about that. Hey Jennifer, Deacon Hill, go Dodgers. AAC, can I wear my hat now? Yeah, I have my hat on the couch. I wore my jersey during the game, but I did not wear my hat, and it works. So now I got my hat backwards like the Dodgers had their hats backward at the ceremony. Yes, sir. That's a hard way to make $1, my brother. Oh, man. UFC, boxing, kickboxing, backyard fighting. All that stuff is a hard hustle. I remember Antonio Tarver said it best, man. I have to go back to the lab and rethink my hustle. This is not easy. This is not easy at all. At all. Shout out to Khabib. John Jones called him out. We'll see. My 2 cents. I'm going to have to get Jimmy on this one. The all-time 2-on-2 tournament bracket. So this is just a little appetizer of what we're going to talk about on Friday. I'm going Kareem and Magic. I'm old school. Kareem's the best center of all time. Magic Johnson the best point guard of all time versus whoever else you're going to bring. Everybody in their primes. You got to go with the 2 GOATs. A lot of formidable foes on here. Iris and Melo, no. LeBron and Davis, no. Barkley and Johnson, no. Shaq and Wade, pretty good. Billups Wallace, no. Durant Curry, no. Magic Johnson eats Curry alive. Duncan Robinson, no, they can't guard anybody that can handle the ball. Kobe and Shaq, they right there. So we're going to go down the list on Friday. So make sure you tune in to 1585 on Friday. I'd like to shout my boys out. Shout out my boy Jimmy Mack, the Sucker Punch podcast on Thursday. He said he's going to go a little bit later so we can all watch it. And the Time Is Now podcast, Mike Staff, on Spotify and Apple Music. Check him out. I believe he's going to have Travis Collier on the show. I saw him talking back and forth in his Facebook post. This came across my feed. Shout out to the Jackrabbits. Coach Cole can appreciate this one. We have 86 pros in sports. We have 58 NFL players, 8 NBA players, and 20 Major League Baseball players out of Long Beach Poly. Show me a high school in America with more. Jennifer says, what a game tonight. Yes, it was. What a game. What a series. What a odd season. And I can't wait to show some plays later on of my What Did I Just See segment. That 9th inning, that home base attempt, stealing home plate attempt, that was crazy. Carmelo Anthony plans to look for a team where he can play big minutes. Stay where you at, Melo. You found a good place to play. You found a place where they allow you just to sit out and shoot. You don't need to go somewhere and play more minutes. You're on a winning team that values your buckets, even though they come in few and far in between. Your time has passed. It's time for you to understand your role on the team that's winning. If you go play for the Wizards or the Charlotte Hornets, you're not going to be happy. So stay where you at, brother. That's my advice to you. Diggin Hill says Cap and Magic, hands down. You got two of the best to ever do it at their respective positions. Magic Johnson, best point guard. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has to be arguably the best player of all time. Now, 2-on-2 in today's rules, probably KD and Curry would probably be able to do something because he could shoot threes from half court. But back in the day, where you back guys down, you can beat dudes up. Kareem and Magic are two big, unstoppable forces. I like these uniforms that came down my timeline. You breaking out the black 2.0s. I'm a pseudo University of Miami Hurricane fan. I'm a rock with them Hurricanes when I can. I was a big fan growing up. So them all blacks, I like those. Those are real cold. We had a show earlier this year who had the coldest uniforms, and I went with Baylor with the all blacks and the gold helmets. But these black Miami 2.0s, cold as ice. All right, the legend of Danny Dimes. The legend of Danny Dimes continues to grow. As the fastest max speed by a quarterback this season, Danny Dimes was clocked at 21.2 miles per hour. You can believe that if you want to. I don't think it's true. Lamar Jackson's at 21.0, 20.9, 20.6 for Daniel Jones week 6, 20.3 Lamar Jackson. So you're trying to tell me that Daniel Jones is faster than Lamar Jackson. That's kind of what they're saying. So I went and found me some footage. I just want you to look. Just look. Again. For yourself. Does this look like he moving, but he outran himself. But no part of that run looked like he was digging. Like, when somebody's digging, like, I mean, of course it's slow motion on replays. It's not full motion. But there was nobody, like, the defensive backs don't look like they're running full speed. They were just hoping that he didn't score, and he didn't. He fell on his own. So, I mean, shout out to him. He had an 80-yard run. Didn't complete the run. Fell on his own. But the legend of Danny Dimes is getting out of hand. So, that's my transition into what did I just see? I just saw this man run 80 yards, lose his balance. Maybe his helmet was too heavy. What did I just see? I saw the Atlanta Falcons smoke off a game because they were supposed to run the clock out and not score. But Todd Gurley, who's done this before the right way by just taking a knee and not scoring when I had him on my fantasy team. But this time, he breaks the plane and gives the Lions the ball back with a minute left to play. And in Atlanta Falcon form, they lose the game. They lose the game. What else did I just see? This graphic came up. So the legend of Danny Dimes is going even further. If you saw the Seahawks-Cardinals game, which was a very, very entertaining game. Probably the play of the year, even though the Seahawks ultimately lost to the Arizona Cardinals. Budda Baker's pick six was turned into just a long interception return because DK Metcalf walked him down like Bryshon Nellam in the state championship track and field races a few years back. They said that DK ran a 22.6 miles per hour to catch Budda Baker down the sideline. And Daniel Jones ran a 34.2 miles per hour top speed versus the Eagles. And my comment on the post was that he runs faster than most four-legged animals. Only comparison would be to a cheetah. Morocco says the grass tackled Daniel Jones at the 20-yard line. Todd Brunty, I hear you, AZ, but Allen can scoot. Roby Coleman just gave up the chase. Nobody was scooting for the Eagles defensive backs just kind of like watched the show. Like they knew he was going to fall. Of course, I have the DK Metcalf chase down because that is speed. Let's take a look at that. So you got, and he's twice the size of Budda Baker. And Budda Baker is a small guy. He's a little guy. He's like smaller than Honey Badger. But DK is 6'4", 230. So we get to watch the Hawk. We can just start calling DK the Hawk. Fast, tall dudes never look like they're stepping. Hey, this right here has to be scary. Oh my God. He just entered the screen. Just watching, man. It is, oh my God. He is digging. I mean, and his arms are bigger than his legs. Oh my God. DK came out of nowhere. I am now a DK Metcalf believer. He is different. He got mad wheels. He's bigger than David Boston. He looks like Cam Chancellor, but he's a receiver. And he walked down an NFL defensive back like he was a 5 flat 40 guy. So, of course, that generates memes. So let's run down the line. DK coming after Budda Baker's like Christmas coming for October 31st. It's coming. As soon as you hit October, Christmas music is coming. The Falcons with the lead. The fourth quarter is coming. Pumpkin spice and anything. White girls are coming. This time of year, they love pumpkin spice. No offense, Jen. You like pumpkin? Adam Gase. Unemployment is coming for you. This is a matter of time, sir. Your last piece of gum. Everybody's coming for your last piece of gum. Michael Jordan as the GOAT. LeBron James is coming for you. You gotta run. Trevor Lawrence, star quarterback for the Clemson Tigers and the NFL draft. The Jets are coming for you. Look out. 0.1% of germs. Hand sanitizers coming for you. You know that 99.9% hand sanitizer kills germs is coming. And last but not least, of course, Todd Prunty, we can appreciate this one. The Super Bowl, the Cowboys are running away from the Super Bowl. Dirty. Just real dirty. I can take that one. What's up, Michelle? Woohoo, Dodgers, yes sir. Dodgers fast, tall dudes never look like they stepping. DK Metcalf is stepping. Patrick Peterson, who locked DK down on the offensive side of the ball, he only had one catch, and you erased that touchdown catch he had in overtime. He said he looked like an oversized gazelle running down the sideline. This dude is a monster, man. He's Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, and Calvin Johnson all mixed into one. He's a freak of nature. He can catch. It just don't look very smooth, but he's very, very effective. Then this one came up. It's the DK show, DK Metcalf show. Everyone asking if we have a spot open on our relay team for DK 14. For NFL players are welcome to come and test their speed against the real speed next year at the Olympic trials. And of course, DK Metcalf says, I'll see you there. The question was, is he serious? And I've known a bunch of diva receivers in my lifetime, and I think he's serious. I don't think he knows what he's getting himself into, because Olympic sprinters sprint for a living. Yes, he ran pretty fast with gear on. His helmet is pretty heavy and his pads are heavy, and he still ran pretty fast. But if you've ever been around track athletes, you know that they run a little bit different than a big football player like that. Jennifer said, no offense, because your girl is only half white, so I only have half like pumpkin spice. I can dig it. You need to have some sweet potato pie spice, and then you can call your boy. I don't do pumpkin pie. DK will go out there and get smoked against the Olympic trial track athletes, but I would love to watch it. I would love to see it. He is too big and too swole to be against those guys in the Olympic trials. I'll be waiting to see it. On my sports flick, I watched a movie called Life Without Basketball, and it stars a young lady named Bilqis Abdul Qadar, and she went to Indiana State and played basketball, D1 basketball at Indiana State, the same university that Larry Bird went to. She fought for the right to wear her hijab in pro basketball, international play. She was denied for 3 years. And then after a 3-year fight, after she gave up playing, but she still wanted to fight the rules that banned her from playing, was pretty much banned her religion, which is Muslim, from playing professional basketball, because she must wear a head covering at all times. And she was either going to sacrifice and compromise her faith for playing basketball, and she did not. So eventually, finally, 3 years later, she was allowed to wear it in a professional league in Dubai. So the documentary was a story of the struggle of different court dates and hearings that was basically saying, we're not going to accept you wearing your hijab in a basketball game for whatever reasons. So they finally came down and said you can wear it as long as you have no pins, you have no, it's not hanging down. There was a bunch of stipulations that basically said you still can't wear it. And 3 years later, then she was finally allowed to. So her fight did not go in vain, and now she's opening it up for other girls of that faith to play basketball internationally. It's not a rule here in America you can play with a hijab on in a basketball game. It's just international, where most girls play if they play pro, if they don't play for the WNBA. So her fight was triumphant, and now she runs a basketball academy in Canada. The movie Life Without Basketball can be viewed on Hulu and Amazon Video. All right. Oh yeah, sweet potato pie is better for sure. Must agree. So the Dodgers are the champs as I get on out of here. And my final words are an ode to my favorite Dodger of all time, Jackie Robinson. So Jackie, his legacy was one where he broke down barriers. Of course, he was the first African American to play in the major leagues, and this was toward the end where the Negro leagues was fading out. Science tells us that it's just that the word like matter, like we hear Black Lives Matter, and we hear that without the black player in our different sports, what would our sports be? And just scientifically, the word matter, it can exist in 4 forms: solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. And they're all dependent on the living conditions we're in. Those elements can change from the pressure they put on them and the temperature they're in. And that kind of determines if that matter exists. Well, in this case, where we're talking about Black lives and how they matter with Jackie Robinson's context, the expressions of solidarity flowing between spaces, when we uplift ourselves and others, influencing other cultures, getting them to see us for who we are. As we heard Dr. King say, the content of our character, not our skin color. In the space that we occupy here in the United States of America, that we helped build a country, that we still have a hard time being accepted as citizens. Even after slavery, we're still here, we're still contributing, we're still excelling, and that should be an inspiration to everybody. Jackie Robinson, he fought for those things. He fought for our lives to matter. He endured a lot of racism in the 50s. His name came up a lot this week with the stolen base from the Tampa Bay Rays, as we're going to get into in a little bit. Unfortunately, the fight continues in 2020. And you can always say all the movements, the social injustice, at the end of the day, when someone says all lives matter in the midst of a pandemic and people of color being killed by the police, all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. Until everybody's treated equally, everyone is seen equally, and everybody is understood, and everybody is no longer invisible. Like, it does matter that we have a contribution. I started off the show saying how important Mookie Betts was to the Dodger championship. Just his personality and his presence helped the Dodgers get over the top. So shout out to Jackie Robinson for paving the way. Many years later, we get the championship. So I have to finish the show off with what did I just see from the World Series. Now, Game 4, the 9th inning. A lot happened. It's something I've never seen before. First of all, Baez and Kenley Jansen had a meltdown and allowed the Rays to get back in the game. This inning right here, he throws a meat pitch to Phillips, who has never had a hit in the World Series in the postseason. He gives him something to hit right across the middle. The cutter didn't cut. He hits the ball to center field. Chris Taylor, who is normally a sure-handed fielder. This is when Cody Bellinger did not play because of his back. All he did was hit. He didn't play in the field. Chris Taylor botches the scoop. Gets the relay in fine. Muncy makes the cutoff. Throws a backhand ball to Will Smith. Will Smith rushes. Forgets to catch the ball. Kenley Jansen does not back up Will Smith, where most pitchers who learn in Little League that you back up the catcher in a play like this. So many bad things happened during this one play. I had never seen anything like it before in my life. It really made me wonder just how pressure-packed this play was. I have no desire ever to be a relief pitcher. Everything fell on Kenley Jansen's shoulders. He did not perform. And now all these unfortunate occurrences happened because he was not able to get out the batters that he faced. This was like when I saw it happen live, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then to see Dave Roberts' response was finally seeing some emotion out of him. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. From him putting in Baez and putting in Jansen. And the Rays felt the same thing tonight. When they took out their ace and put in their bullpen guys and the Dodgers started licking their chops and everybody started hitting the ball hard, I believe they took their ace out too soon. And it cost them a chance to go to Game 7 because he had the Dodgers against the ropes. The Dodgers had nothing for him. And as soon as you bring in another arm that does not have the same, I wouldn't say intimidation, I wouldn't say the same juice, because the bullpen guys throw harder because they only have an inning or two to pitch, so they throw harder. But to a professional batter, they don't shy away from 100 miles per hour pitches. They actually invite them, because if you get contact, as we saw in an 8th inning when Mookie Betts hit the home run tonight, professional batters love 100 mile per hour fastballs because all you gotta do is hit it. It's going out. Now, stealing home base. I believe I've done it playing Little League, but that's more of a double steal situation. Stealing home is more than a notion. And I believe the last successful attempt was done in 1955 by Jackie Robinson. There have been plenty of regular season stealing home attempts and they were successful, but in the World Series, Jackie Robinson was the last one to do it, and that call was questionable. The double steal, I wouldn't really call it a home steal because it's a little league play where you get the defense to throw the ball to second base because you're stealing second base and you just take off as soon as the catcher throws the ball. Now you see a lot of catchers faking the throw and catching the third base guy stuck. Now this attempt by Lonnie Smith, I believe he was safe because that hand gets underneath that glove. If they had a review, I believe they would have had something to see if he saw it from the other angle. Jackie Robinson stole home versus the Yankees. They went ahead and lost the series, but this is an iconic moment where Yogi Berra is arguing with the umpire. Jackie Robinson snuck his foot in right behind the glove of Yogi Berra. Now, in the 50s, and even earlier than that, it was a commonplace to steal. Pitchers just didn't have the moxie. I believe when the Rays attempted it the other day with Margot, they were trying to capitalize on Kershaw's long, slow windup. And it cost them a lot of momentum. It cost them a valuable opportunity to get another run. And now we got a championship in LA for the first time in 32 years. I can't even let y'all know how excited I am, how happy I was. My family thought something was wrong. I was in here hollering. I opened the patio sliding glass door, screaming out. My neighbors outside screaming out. And then the whole city started lighting up with fireworks and gunshots. So we're going to have two parades. The Lakers and the Dodgers are champions. All is good in the city of LA, in the city of Angels. The Dodgers finally bring it home with a 3-1 victory over the Tampa Bay Devil Rays in the World Series in 2020. It's been a rough one, but we're getting through it. Pray for Justin Turner to be okay with his COVID-19 diagnosis. And we're going to get to the bottom of how do you find out you got COVID during the game. How does that happen? I think that's pretty sketchy. My wife says they knew before the game. They just didn't want to mess the game up. I think she might be on to something. They wanted to make sure that he played and make sure the game was in hand. And then when the game was in hand, they said, oh, and by the way, Justin Turner, you got to go quarantine, brother. That's why you saw the Dodger with face mask on at the ceremony. So we are still in the middle of a pandemic. I actually voted yesterday. I was proud of myself. My wife, my daughter, her first time voting. She's 19. So she was pretty stoked about it. And we did our American duty to cast our vote for the things we believe in. Hopefully you do the same. Again, Friday, 1585, 9 p.m. Jimmy Mack and myself. We're going to recap the World Series again, most likely. The aftermath of it all is still trying to come down off our low natural highs. Talk about Thursday night football. And now that baseball is over, we can focus on football. And I believe basketball is going to come back in, 2 months? They said basketball is going to start in December. That's going to be pretty interesting in how they're going to make those different bubbles across the country so the players can remain COVID-free. Hope y'all stay COVID-free. Tonight was something new. I did not do on-screen comments because I'm streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. I'm trying something new to see what's happening on these other platforms. I'm going to check them out on the replay, see how they look, how they sound, and see if it's something I want to do moving forward. And we're going to get this podcast. I believe we have like a little circuit here, Mike Staff and Jimmy and J Mo and AC Carter. I believe we can put together a little team of around the clock podcast and get somebody to put some money in our pockets and do this on the side and eventually make it something that we can do full time. Maybe. Maybe. Righty sides here. What up, man? We'll do the fine fireworks all year round. Man, you would, them fireworks been sitting up since 88, since the last championship. People been waiting to fire up them fireworks since the last Dodger championship. That's why I said the Dodger championship might be more dangerous than the Lakers championship as far as the streets of LA not being safe. These Dodger fans been waiting a long time, man. And knowing that we got cheated 3 years ago, they've been primed and ready to get this championship cracking. So be safe in them streets. Celebrate this victory. Shout out to Mookie Betts for making that culture change in that locker room from one that's complacent to one that go gets it. Dave Roberts, UCLA Bruin, finally got the monkey off your back and you felt the game and left Urias in there to finish it out. We'll find out what we're going to do with Kenley Jansen next year moving forward. Shout out to Clayton Kershaw for finally getting his championship ring. Shout out to Corey Seager for being an MVP. And to all my Dodger fans out there, the Doyers, the boys in blue, are the champs of the world. Today's a good day in LA, y'all. I'm AC. May y'all continue to love on your family, love on your loved ones. May y'all bless you richly. Until I see y'all again, I'ma holla at you. Be easy. Peace.